Section 2, History of HUD Homes. Connecting HUD's history to today's HUD transactions. In the last section, we learned what HUD is, how HUD homes are created, and why agents must understand systems like HUD Home Store and Yardi One. Now the next question becomes, how did HUD homes become such a major part of the real estate industry? HUD homes did not appear overnight. They developed over decades through changes in lending practices, housing programs, foreclosure trends, and technology. Understanding this history helps agents explain HUD homes to buyers and understand why HUD has strict timelines, bidding procedures, disclosures, and compliance standards today. Many modern HUD rules were created from lessons learned during years of handling foreclosures and protecting neighborhoods. The origins of HUD homes. Let's go back to the 1930s. During the Great Depression, banks failed, foreclosures increased, and many Americans lost their homes. Mortgage lending was very different from today. Buyers often needed large down payments and short repayment terms. Home ownership was difficult for average families. To help stabilize the market, the federal government created the Federal Housing Administration, FHA, in 1934. FHA did not lend money directly. Instead, FHA insured loans made by approved lenders. This reduced lender risk and encouraged banks to offer loans with lower down payments and longer repayment periods. For many Americans, this created a realistic path to homeownership. Then, in 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson created the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, as part of his Great Society initiative. HUD became the federal agency responsible for housing programs, community development, and affordable housing opportunities. HUD also took over oversight of FHA, creating the FHA-HUD relationship that still exists today. A real-world example. Imagine a family in Phoenix during the 1950s. Without FHA financing, they may have needed a very large down payment to buy a home. For many working families, home ownership would have been nearly impossible. With FHA-insured financing, lenders became more comfortable offering affordable loan options with longer repayment periods. This matters today because many HUD home buyers are still first-time buyers using FHA financing. Why homes become HUD properties. A HUD home usually begins with a borrower who purchased a property using an FHA-insured loan. At first, everything may go smoothly, but life changes. A borrower may experience job loss, medical emergencies, divorce, financial hardship, rising expenses. If the borrower cannot catch up on payments, the loan may go into default and eventually foreclosure. Because the loan was FHA insured, the lender files a claim with HUD. HUD then takes ownership of the property. That home becomes a HUD home. The process usually looks like this: missed payments, default, foreclosure, HUD ownership, resale through HUD Home Store. HUD's goal is not to keep the property forever. HUD wants to recover taxpayer funds, stabilize neighborhoods, and return homes to productive ownership. HUD homes are usually sold as is. Once HUD acquires a property, it is listed for resale through HUD Home Store. Most HUD homes are sold as is. This means HUD generally does not make repairs before closing. Agents must explain this clearly to buyers. For example, an Arizona buyer once asked their agent whether HUD would replace damaged flooring and missing appliances before closing. The agent incorrectly assumed HUD would handle the repairs. HUD declined the repairs because the property was sold as is, and the buyer became frustrated. Situations like this are why Arizona Commissioner's Rule R428-1101A requires licensees to deal fairly and avoid misrepresentation. HUD's modern sales strategy. As HUD inventory increased during the 1980s and 1990s, HUD began using private contractors to help manage properties nationwide. These contractors may include asset managers, field service managers, HUD-approved listing brokers, maintenance vendors. Today, these companies help manage property preservation, utilities, maintenance, marketing, and bid reviews. This system allows HUD to handle properties more efficiently across the country. The digital evolution of HUD homes. Years ago, HUD transactions relied heavily on paper forms, mailed contracts, and slower communication. Today, the system is largely digital through HUDHomestore.gov, Yardi One authentication, electronic bidding, online bid tracking, digital contract packages, NAID management. While technology has made HUD transactions faster, it also requires agents to understand digital systems and deadlines. An agent who misses a bid deadline or does not understand NAID requirements could unintentionally harm a buyer's chances of success. Key HUD milestones. Several major events shaped today's HUD market. 1934, FHA was created during the Great Depression. 1965, HUD became a cabinet-level department. 1980s and 1990s, HUD expanded the use of private contractors and asset managers. Early 2000s, HUD moved toward online bidding and digital systems. Today, HUD Home Store provides nationwide online access to HUD-owned properties. HUD also created programs like Good Neighbor Next Door, which may provide opportunities for teachers, firefighters, EMTs, and law enforcement officers purchasing homes in revitalization areas. Arizona licensee responsibilities. Even though HUD is a federal agency, Arizona agents must still follow Arizona laws and commissioner standards. Arizona agents handling HUD homes should deal fairly with all parties, avoid misrepresentation, understand HUD contracts and timelines, explain disclosures honestly, recommend inspections when appropriate. HUD homes often involve timelines, forms, and procedures that differ from standard Arizona Association of Realtors or transactions. That is why competency matters. The best HUD agents are not simply salespeople. They are educators, communicators, and problem solvers who help clients navigate a unique transaction process. In the next section, we will move from HUD history into the modern HUD buying and bidding process. Online discussion. Question 1. Why was FHA originally created? Answer. FHA was created during the Great Depression to stabilize the housing market and help lenders provide safer mortgage financing options. Question 2. Why is it important for agents to explain that HUD homes are sold as is? Answer. Buyers may incorrectly assume repairs will be completed before closing. Agents must explain the process clearly to avoid misunderstandings or misrepresentation issues. Question 3. How has technology changed the HUD home process? Answer. HUD now uses online systems like HUDhomestore.gov, Yardi One authentication, electronic bidding, and digital contract management.